Hi everybody, this is the review of the lab for chi-square. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how you can do a chi-square. And so it's analyze. It's in descriptive statistics, but the chi-square is an inferential statistic, so just keep that in mind. They have in descriptive, I think, because there's lots of options you can do with it. So analyze, descriptive, and it's called crosstabs. There's another way that you can do a chi-square, but we're going to stick with this because it's doing what we did in our lecture and homework, which is asking the question, are the numbers observed in a certain cell different from the expected? And is there some sort of general pattern to that, systematic pattern that for the whole sample, and the chi-square is significant, or is it just random based on the numbers of people in the rows and the columns? So analyze descriptive statistics, crosstabs. I'm going to clear this. This is just a reminder what I wanted to do here. So you see here we have rows and columns. So we have to find something to put in rows and something to put in columns. So I'm going to put marital status once I find it. That was up here. Just give me a second to find it. And I think it's up there a bit more. There it is. It's kind of hidden. Marital status. So it's a categorical variable. And then we have a nominal variable. Then we have job satisfaction. I want to make sure I have the right one. So this is actually satisfaction with one's job or doing housework if you're a homemaker. And I think that's the right one. And we have to click the statistics to tell it to do a chi-square. And press continue. And to help us interpret the chi-square, it's good to have not only the observed values, but also the expected. So this is going to give us O and E for each of the cells. And then we just press OK. And I did it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight these things. Let me snip it to help you look at the output. And you notice right away I just kind of skipped this first little thing here. We don't need to look at that. So we just go down all the way. Let me snip it. And here we go. And so the first thing I'm going to look at actually is to see if the chi-square is significant or not. That's down here. So this chi-square test right here. And we're actually going to look at here. So this is our chi-square that we've been looking at. Here's the chi-square itself, the value of the chi-square, the degrees of freedom. And then this is the p-level. It's actually two-sided. So we divide it by 2. So it doesn't really matter in this case because the significance is less than 0.05. So just like with every SPSS test that we have, if it's less than 0.05, we reject the HO. We reject the HO. And this gives us the specific probability of a type 1 error. So if we actually divide it by 2, if we have a prediction here, let's say we don't have one, it's a chi-square. So if you have a prediction, divide it by 2, and I'm going to just say for ease here, we don't have a prediction. It was just kind of a question I had. Still the same, so we have a 5% chance of a type 1 error, which is exactly our cutoff. So it's actually greater than or equal to. So that's an interesting case. So we can actually say equal. So we still reject the HO. I don't know if I've ever seen right on the ball 0.05 before. So Here's our numbers. So there is a significant relationship. So when we write this up, we would write it up. There is a significant relationship between marital status. You could say using a chi-square. There was a significant relationship between marital status and satisfaction with one's job or doing housework. Then we do a little comma, chi-square. Our degrees of freedom was 12 over here. And our sample size was down here a lot. We had 1,142 people. And then we do equal, and then we have the 21.04, and then P, usually we'd say less than, but we can say P is equal to 0.05 in this case. And then we have to look at the expected versus, up here we have the expected versus actual count. And it's a little bit weird to try to see it, so we have to kind of draw lines here. So looking at the married people, is there anything that stands out, expected versus unexpected? This is somewhat close. This is somewhat close. I kind of think this looks a little bigger than I would expect. That there's more very satisfied married people very satisfied with their job and being married. That to me looks like there's a bit of difference here between the observed and expected. Widows, they're kind of small, so, and it doesn't look like to be big differences there. Divorced people, I don't know. I don't think there's a huge difference here. Separated people, there's so few of them. It's hard to really tell. Here, in terms of the never married, it looks like there might be some differences here. So never married people, seems like there's fewer people here who are never married and very satisfied with their job. That's kind of interesting. I think that's it. So if I was to write this up, looking at the observed versus count is observed versus expected, what stands out to me is that married people, there's more married people who are very satisfied with their job or doing housework, if that's her homemaker, than we expected. And conversely, there's fewer never married people who are very satisfied with their job / doing housework than we expected. So this is what you have to do for the lab. I'm going to show you the analysis that are part of the lab, and I will save these outputs for you. So there's two things here. One is that there is sex, a person's sex, and again it's dichotomized male female in this case, so it's a level of measurement. It's not necessarily the nature of the variable. And is that related to one's happiness in their marriage, sort of using a nominal measure here. So let's look at sex and happiness of marriage. So again, descriptives, analyze descriptives, crosstabs, and we have sex and happiness of marriage. So we have sex here, and we have happiness of marriage. Sorry about that. There's so many variables in here. Here it is. And again, we've clicked on the chi-square here and the observed and expected frequencies. And then OK. And so I'm going to save this output for you. And just I'm going to highlight here that, again, it dichotomizes male, female, gender. And then it looks at the happiness of one's marriage. And so there's very happy, pretty happy, and then not too happy. So you're going to ask the question about whether these things are related. And then we're going to run an analysis on how exciting people find life is, and whether they're married, what their marital status, I should say. It's not just whether they're married or not, there's different marital statuses here. So let's do those analyses. Oops, sorry about that. Keep on saying descriptives, crosstabs. Let's click this over, click this over. I want to make sure I get the right variables. So marital status and whether one's happy in life. So there's life. Not just happy, it's about whether you think life is exciting. And here's marital status. Again, I've clicked on the chi-square and I clicked on the expected. And here we go. And so here's our output here. So this is looking at the marital status of being married, widowed, divorced, separated, never married, and whether that's related to how exciting you see life. Do you see life as dull, routine, or exciting? And so I'm going to post this output on Canvas, and you'll have to interpret them. So I will talk to you later.